Hi guys, it's Friday and I actually don't know what date it is. I think May 11th. Probably, yeah. This morning, I spent most of my time thinking about the camper insurance and trying to reach a few companies, but some of the companies are closed, so we can't reach them. There's one company with whom we want to insure our camper van, but we're still waiting on their reply. So we got a question yesterday asking where we will insure the camper van. We're not sure yet. And we had another question, I think it was Henrik that asked this, whether the rules to register your van as a camper van, what they are, and if they are similar to his rules in Sweden. In the Netherlands, there are a couple of things that your camper van has to have in order to register it as a camper van. One of which is a water system that includes a faucet, a sink, and a wastewater tank. It does not have to have an attaching tube from the supplying water tank to the faucet though. And I think you have to have 2 cabinets that can be closed. Then you need a fixed stove that is fixed to the kitchen in a way. Then you need 2 seating areas, and those can be the seats that are swiveled back, so the driver's seat and the passenger seat, but it can also be a converted bed into a sofa. And then we need a bed, and for 2 people that has to be 110 centimeters wide and 180 centimeters long, or 2 beds of 180 by 70. As long as 2 people can sleep in there, then you need the 110 or the 70 times 2. And then the van has to have a specific size on the inside, which is I think 170 in height, 2 meters in length, and I don't know the width actually, but our van is quite long and wide enough, so I mean it's not a transporter, so it is quite a large van, so ours applies. And then to get insured, there are specific things to adhere by depending on the insurance company. So for example, there's one company that we're looking at which asks to have your van checked over at home just to determine its value. So that's not related to the interior at all. But there are other insurance companies that have for which you need a professional to check over your water, electrics, and gas installation. So that means that you have to visit like a specific garage in which they check that over. That's something that we recommend to do anyways, but for certain companies that's the way they go about it. It just depends. So that's the rules that we have to apply to in the Netherlands to have it checked over and be officially registered, both by the company that checks the MOT, but also by the regular insurance people. So everything you need will be covered by both of those companies if you adhere to those rules. Now this morning when we entered the van, there was again a small puddle of water next to the sink underneath one of the LEDs, so the sealing that I did yesterday probably didn't work. Jordi was just on the roof again for a while to fix more brackets and to seal up more, so we hope that that had some effect. And he's now going to work on part of the ceiling that we have there. So yeah, show you that. This sheet of ply we cut a few weeks ago already, and this is the only plate that we did not paint just yet and that we didn't install due to the fact that we would still have to install a wood burner. Jordi has now decided to cut off this area to fit the flue pipe for the wood burner, because there will be another metal plate on the ceiling, so this hole can be a bit bigger, meaning that we can already paint and install this ceiling section. Jordi is now done sawing and sanding down this area on this new sheet of ply for the ceiling, so I will now clean it with a microfiber cloth and then I will paint that white, and that can finally be installed afterwards after a couple of coats of paint. Well, that was all I ended up filming yesterday. Yeah, I was basically waiting to film something else that we would do working on the van, but we didn't. I ended up painting that part of the ceiling once, and we will be doing that again today, the next day. But that was all we did for the van. We did make many phone calls to insurance companies, but they were all closed, or they either couldn't help us due to the fact that we want to travel longer than 6 months. But we also contacted quite a lot of shops that work with wood burners, and those phone calls were not too successful either. We did get an arrangement to meet to get an item that we need today, which you will see tomorrow. And that was all we did. We mainly spent most of our time thinking about our website, some changes that we're going to make, and I wrote a blog post for Sunday. So yeah, that was that. Not really a van kind of day, but it was a bit productive because we worked on the blog, so that's alright. So I thought, why not explain to you guys what we still have to do, what we still have to make in order to finish this van. So the major part here is the flue pipe installation for the wood burner, which obviously runs through the roof. So we still have to drill a hole here and figure out if there are drills that are that we can afford that make a perfect 15 centimeter hole, or that we will have to cut it by hand. And then obviously we need that ceiling panel, and to finish off the fan we have to cut off part of the plastic that goes around it. But then we can install the ceiling already before installing the flue, so that's alright. Then once the ceiling is in, we can finish off this entire edge around it. We already have those two pieces done, but we don't have a part here, there, and this edge still has to be made. We also have to install a slat here, a very flat slat is what I'm looking for, to finish that just in the green color. Those are all simple things, but they have to be done after we install the ceiling, just because then we know what it all will look like, and then we can do it all in one go. Then we have to install the small piece of oak that Jordi's friend made. We already oiled that with Osmo oil a couple of times, so that's ready to go in when we want to. That will be installed here. We have to put the fridge back in. The toilet is already back in place. We removed those because when we had the van checked out to see if it would fit the campervan regulations, the van will be weighed, so you can basically take everything out that adds extra weight, which is not necessary for the classification. So we did that. We removed the fridge and the toilet. Then we have one sheet of ply that will run here to cover the top of the fridge, and many people have a drawer there, but because the fridge is quite high, we wanted to keep that 15 centimeter gap open because yeah, well, obviously we wanted a drawer, but this it also needs to vent, so we wanted to keep that extra space on top. And then here we have like a 15 centimeter open space next to the fridge. There we will have the gas canister and the wastewater. So we're still thinking about what we'll be doing with this area. When we install the gas canister and the water tanks here, they have to be put in place so that they don't move when we're driving. So that's something that we still have to work on. Then we need some adhesive here and around the sink, and probably also around the cooktop. And then all there's left to do is install some curtains. So we need two there, of which one I have already cut, so I can cut the next one easily. Then I need one here and one on that sliding door. Tomorrow it will probably rain, so that's when I can cut all of them. And we will probably use a sewing machine to do that. Jordi's mom has one and she can help us figure that out. And to install those magnets, I will have a separate small sheet of cotton with the magnet underneath, and I will I think, place that in by hand to fix the issue with the magnets connecting to the sewing machine. So that's fixed as well. And then we hope that the leakages are fixed as well. We will see that soon when it starts raining again. Not sure when, but I think on Sunday it might rain. So that will give us the answer as well. Yeah, when that's done, all there's left to do is pack up the van. So most of the things I mentioned are things that can be done quite easily and quite swiftly. So most of the finishing touches can be sawed in one day, and all the stuff that's already finished, like stuff like sealant or the small edge around the corner of the countertop, that can already be installed within one day. And those finishing touches, those pieces of wood, we can just paint them over 1 or 2 days, and that will be done as well. So that's quite quick. We just need some stuff for the wood burner, and then we can install that as well. So yeah, then we can pack up and leave, and we hope that that will work within the next 7 days, so that we can leave by the end of next week. That's the idea. That's all we have to do. Yeah, we didn't make the deadline, but we're nearly there. And this week's blog post will be about that. So if you're interested in knowing more about the background behind the entire build and more about how we felt and how it was for us, we will have a fun blog post about that on Sunday. And we had one about our plans and our ideas to travel in a van last week. So I will leave the links to a previous Sunday's blog post in the description, and once this Sunday's blog post is up, I will add that as well. And otherwise you can just head to mojoandfriends.blog and you will find all of our texts there. If you didn't know, we're not just YouTubers, we also write on a website about sustainability, alternative living, about this entire van conversion, but also about healthy living for both humans and dogs. Because we know quite a lot about that, about a couple of these subjects, and yeah, since we graduated from university, we thought that if we were not about to start a regular career, why not share some of that information, or yeah, just a little bit on our website. So that's what we do, and so check that out if you want to, and give us a like on there, follow our Facebook page and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll be back with a new video. Not sure what you'll be seeing, but we did some stuff already today, so you'll see that eventually. Yeah, tune in again tomorrow, guys, and goodbye.